Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars. What could be said about this classic RPG of the past? Well, a lot really. Just stop for a second and take yourself back almost 2 decades. The year is 1996. The gaming industry is exploding and relentlessly moving forward. Nintendo, Sega, and Sony are duking it out, constantly challenging each other. Genres are being created, and masterpieces are being released. It was during this year that 2 of my favorite companies, Squaresoft and Nintendo, came together to release one of the greatest Mario tributes ever. And it's strange to call it a tribute because of Mario's young age at the time, but truly this game in all its facets is fan service. Never have we seen the Mushroom Kingdom so alive and real. This game took everything Mario was about and expanded upon it. This wasn't some weak attempt to rake in some cash. This was the real deal. You had some of the greatest minds in gaming working together to create this masterpiece, with Shigeru Miyamoto leading the charge. We also had Yoko Shimomura and Nobuo Uematsu scoring this title. So, with all this manpower, the legend was born. And I'm sure you've all heard about this game a few times, between your friends demanding you to play it and Nintendo fans crying over Gino's exclusion from Super Smash Bros. Is this game really worth all the hype and attention it gets? Well, let's find out. The game starts out just like you would expect it. Bowser kidnaps Peach, Mario has to go save her. The basic Mario formula, right? Well, that would be how the game plays out if a giant sword didn't fall from the sky during Peach's rescue, sending Mario, Bowser, and the princess flying into different directions in the world. There's something different about this game from the very start. There aren't a bunch of worlds that you must precariously platform your way through before you see the King of Koopas. You fight him within the first minutes of playing the game. Not only is the Mario formula changed, but you're also introduced to unknown variables that create an interesting foundation for the story. You're still looking for the princess, but you're doing so in a more profound way. You as the player don't know where she is, and you don't know what caused the sword to fall from the sky. It even provides you with an awe-striking cutscene if you return to Bowser's castle. Mario just looks into the distance at what was formerly the King Koopa's keep. So, from the very start, you are forced to shift gears in the Marioverse, and it doesn't take long to be introduced to other major characters, such as Mallow, Gino, and the enigmatic Smithy gang. You are slowly introduced to the plot while creating interest in the villain's intentions. You as Mario must gather all 7 stars before Smithy does, or there will be catastrophic consequences according to Gino. As the story progresses, you are quick to find Bowser, who actually joins your team to recapture his keep. Now keep in mind, this was the first moment in gaming history that Bowser allies with you. Shortly after, you rescue the princess. However, your objective only becomes grander as time goes on. It's plain and simple, but it gets the job done. This game oozes Mario charm. Squaresoft managed to take Nintendo's All-Star and turn his world into a unique universe, yet at the same time maintaining what makes Mario great. Not only are the story elements changed, so are the core platforming elements. No longer are you running around the Mushroom Kingdom in 2D, but rather a 3-dimensional isometric approach. It was a bold choice, and at the time it was a great success. This game looked fantastic on the Super Nintendo. The various areas that you traverse are often beautiful and inspired. You could tell that Squaresoft wanted to maintain that sweet Nintendo charm while putting their unique spin on it. The original characters in this game are engaging and interesting. Mallow is an orphan looking for his place in the world, and Gino is an enigmatic agent of the stars. Even Bowser and Peach are given significant roles that deviate from their normal tropes. A lot of the dialogue and character animations will have you laughing, between Bowser's delusional leadership, Mallow's dim-witted clumsiness, and Mario's silent yet awesome and animated explanations. You'll have no room to stop smiling. And the worlds that you get to visit, they're all fantastic. Navigating the mysterious mushroom forest and traversing the atmospheric Star Hill, you can't help but get caught in the beauty of them. Not to mention the awesome and hilarious Booster's Tower. Bottom line, this game's presentation is phenomenal. There's still platforming in the game like previous Mario titles, but this time around the platforming is really only a half-baked attempt to make Mario veterans feel at home. In fact, it's arguable that some of the platforming in this game is its weakest attribute. For the most part, it seems to pull you out of the game, often causing frustration rather than a feeling of accomplishment. The game will often demand very quick and precise movement during some events and minigames. The D-pad just doesn't do the job when under pressure. This isn't to say that the minigames aren't fun, it's just that some of the areas don't work well with an isometric platform scheme. So if the platforming isn't what makes this game great, what does? Well, considering Squaresoft's vast experience with role-playing games and the large RPG in the title, it goes without saying that the battle sequences in this game are probably the meat of the product. You are able to engage in battle by coming into contact with monsters running around in the open world. So naturally, if you aren't feeling up to the battle, you can avoid them if you're skilled enough. However, it's not always a good option to skip over too many battles, as each of them will reward you with coins and experience, both very necessary in order to make your character stronger. The battles are turn-based and are very intuitive. Each button on the controller corresponds with the current character's turn visually. Nintendo put their creative spin on generic turn-based combat systems that usually plague RPGs. During all of your attacks and most of the enemy's attacks, you are given the opportunity to boost your attack or defense with what is called a timed hit. If you execute it properly, your damage will be increased or you will take less damage. It's a very clever way to keep you on your toes, as most attacks have different timings. This isn't even mentioning the great spell effects and details in the game. As one of the last major games on the SNES, this game really managed to push its system to the limit. The boss battles for the most part are very entertaining, with villains that range from a very clever crocodile thief, to a revered shark pirate, to Smithy's weapon-based minions. You as the player never seem to get too tired of them. And let's be honest, you were just as creeped out as I was, and full of adrenaline when you fought Smithy inside of his hellhole. The beauty in this game is its simplicity. It doesn't try anything too complicated, and as a result, you never really feel lost in the story or gameplay. Whether you're being immersed by the battles, the interaction with the world and its characters, or the atmospheric music, you can constantly feel the majesty of Nintendo and Squaresoft's product. It is a shame that these two companies experienced a divide because of another franchise that we won't really get into, because you can clearly see the talent and synergy these two powerhouses brought to the table. Super Mario RPG is a classic that should not be overlooked. It symbolizes a time where games were evolving and changing faster than ever, yet somehow Mario never fell behind. The mustachioed man can fit any genre he wants. He fit perfectly into the world of RPGs and even set a standard for the future ones to come. I give this game a 9 out of 10. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons and go check out my previous retro review. Things have been a little bit crazy over the holidays, but you'll all be glad to know that I'm already hard at work on my next retro review. Jeff and I have a lot more content coming your way, so until next time, thanks for watching.